Rabindranath Tagore, everything you need to know. Rabindranath Tagore, also known as Gurudev, was a prominent Indian poet, philosopher, and polymath of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He was the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913 for his collection of poems, Gitanjali. Tagore was a prolific writer, composer, and artist who contributed significantly to the fields of literature, music, and art. He was also a social reformer and an advocate of education for all. Early life and education. Rabindranath Tagore was born on 7th May 1861 in Calcutta, now Kolkata, to a family of intellectuals and social reformers. His father, Devendranath Tagore, was a leader of the Brahmo Samaj, a Hindu reform movement that aimed to modernize and purify Hinduism. His mother, Sarada Devi, was a poet and a strong influence on his life and work. Tagore's early education was mainly at home, where he was exposed to the Bengali language, music, and poetry. He was a gifted child and began writing poems at a young age. He attended several schools in Calcutta and later went to England to study law at University College London. However, he dropped out of college after a year and returned to India. Literary works. Tagore's literary career began in the 1880s with his first collection of poems, Bhanusimha Thakura Padabli, published in 1884. He went on to publish several volumes of poetry, short stories, novels, and plays in both Bengali and English. Tagore's literary works are known for their deep spiritual and philosophical themes, lyrical quality, and use of natural imagery. His most famous work is Gitanjali, a collection of poems that he translated from Bengali into English. The poems in Gitanjali are deeply spiritual and express Tagore's love for nature and his belief in the oneness of all things. The book was well received and won him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. Apart from Gitanjali, Tagore's other notable works include The Home and the World, The Post Office, and Gora. His works have been translated into many languages and continue to be widely read and appreciated across the world. Music and art. Tagore was not just a writer but also a musician and artist. He composed over 2,000 songs, which are collectively known as Rabindra Sangeet. His music was inspired by Indian classical music, folk music, and Western classical music. His songs are known for their lyrical quality, depth of emotion, and use of natural imagery. Tagore was also a painter and produced over 2,000 paintings during his lifetime. His paintings are known for their simplicity and spiritual themes. He was also a skilled calligrapher and designed the typeface for his own books. Educational reforms. Tagore was a strong advocate for education and believed in a holistic approach to learning. He founded the Vishwa Bharati University in Santiniketan in 1921, which became a hub for education and culture. The university was based on the ideals of Tagore's educational philosophy, which emphasized the importance of a harmonious relationship between students and teachers and a focus on creativity and individual expression. Tagore believed that education should be a joyous and creative experience that nurtures the whole person. He advocated for a curriculum that combined academic learning with practical skills, arts, and physical education. His approach to education was ahead of its time and continues to inspire educators and students around the world. Social reforms. Tagore was also a social reformer and a vocal critic of British colonial rule in India. He was actively involved in the Indian independence movement and used his literary and artistic works to promote nationalistic ideals. He was a supporter of the Swadeshi movement, which aimed to promote Indian-made goods and boycott British-made products. Tagore was also a strong advocate for women's rights and believed in gender equality. He wrote several plays that portrayed strong, independent women who challenged social norms and stereotypes. He also spoke out against child marriage and worked to promote education for girls. Legacy. Rabindranath Tagore's legacy continues to influence and inspire people around the world. His literary works, music, and art continue to be celebrated and studied for their beauty, depth, and spiritual themes. His educational and social reforms were ahead of their time and continue to inspire educators and social reformers. Tagore's works have been translated into many languages and continue to be widely read and appreciated across the world. His influence can be seen in the works of other writers, artists, and musicians who have been inspired by his work. Tagore's message of unity, love, and spiritual harmony continues to resonate with people of all ages and backgrounds. Tagore's contributions to Indian culture and society have been recognized with numerous awards and honors. In 1915, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, becoming the first non-European to receive the award. He was also the first Asian to be awarded a knighthood by the British government. Tagore's life and works have been the subject of several biographies, documentaries, and films. The Indian government has also honored him by featuring his portrait on Indian currency notes and naming several institutions and landmarks after him. Tagore's literary work spanned across different genres such as poetry, fiction, drama, and essays. His most famous work is a collection of poems titled Gitanjali, which means song offerings. Gitanjali is a collection of 103 poems that reflect Tagore's spiritual and philosophical beliefs. The poems are written in a simple, lyrical style that resonates with readers of all ages. Tagore's other notable works include the novels The Home and the World and The Wreck, the plays The Post Office and The King of the Dark Chamber, and the essays Nationalism and Sadhana. His works are characterized by their lyricism, imagery, and spiritual themes. Tagore was also a prolific composer and musician. He wrote over 2000 songs, which are known as Rabindra Sangeet. These songs are deeply rooted in Indian classical music and reflect Tagore's spiritual and philosophical beliefs. Many of his songs have become popular not just in India, but also in other parts of the world. Tagore was also an accomplished painter and visual artist. He created several paintings, drawings, and sketches that reflect his love of nature and his spiritual beliefs. Many of his artworks are on display at the Rabindra Bharati Museum in Kolkata. In addition to his artistic and literary works, Tagore was also involved in various social and political causes. He founded the Visva-Bharati University in 1921, which was designed to be a center of learning and cultural exchange. The university was based on Tagore's philosophy of education, which emphasized the importance of creativity, spirituality, and holistic learning. Tagore was a vocal critic of British colonial rule in India and used his literary and artistic works to promote Indian nationalism. He was also a strong advocate for women's rights and believed in gender equality. He wrote several plays that portrayed strong, independent women who challenged social norms and stereotypes. Overall, Rabindranath Tagore's life and works were characterized by his creativity, spirituality, and humanism. His contributions to Indian culture and society continue to inspire and influence people around the world. Conclusion: Rabindranath Tagore was a multifaceted personality whose life and works continue to inspire and influence people around the world. His literary works, music, and art are celebrated for their beauty, depth, and spiritual themes. His educational and social reforms were ahead of their time and continue to inspire educators and social reformers. Tagore's message of unity, love, and spiritual harmony is more relevant than ever in today's world, which is plagued by conflicts, divisions, and intolerance. His life and works remind us of the power of creativity, compassion, and humanism to bring people together and transcend boundaries of nation, race, and religion.